Sonic Movie and Equestria Girls Chapter 9, The Return. Rainbow Dash could only look at the view in front of her. Although it was pretty obvious she did like Sonic the most, she had her reasons why. Some part of her couldn't understand why her friends would get along with Sonic after he almost got them killed. Rainbow Dash tried hiding these thoughts, but deep down, she knew there was another reason why she disliked the blue hedgehog. Those thoughts would soon have to wait as Rainbow Dash could only hear a voice call out behind her.
Hey Rainbow Dash, are you okay?
Rainbow Dash could only see Twilight and Sunset sit beside her as Dashy tried to play it off.
Of course I am. What makes you say that?
You've been rather distant with everyone lately, ever since we came here. Is there something bothering you, perhaps?
Nothing is bothering me, so don't worry about it. I'm completely fine.
Twilight could only raise an eyebrow as she looked at Rainbow Dash suspiciously, as the speedster could only smile awkwardly before letting out a sigh of frustration before turning the other way.
If this is about Sonic, then
I know what you're going to say, and I understand you guys want me to trust them, but I can't help but feel skeptical about those guys. First they spy on us for who knows how long, and next thing you know, they come out of nowhere while being chased by some lunatic.
I know you still don't trust them, but haven't they proven themselves worthy by now? I can understand why you don't trust them, but holding a grudge against them like a time like this isn't going to help.
It still doesn't change the fact that he's got us involved in this situation when he lost the emerald for Rarity to pick it up, which, by the way, was a super powerful weapon which could destroy the universe.
But he didn't mean to. He promised me he would be at the game when I asked him.
That was before we even knew he was a blue alien hedgehog from another dimension. I just can't understand why you and the others trust him so quickly after everything he's put us through.
That's because throughout the time I've known him, he's always put others before himself. And sure, he's made mistakes, but he's still learning. Sonic has been there for me even before you girls did after the fall formal. And he's always helped me push forward in life, even when it felt impossible. I know you don't trust him like I do, but it doesn't hurt to try. You may even like him.
You may trust him, but that doesn't mean I will. I know it just might be me being a bit paranoid, but I can't help it when my friends are in danger. In the end of the day, I value our friends more than that little rodent and his animal friends.
Oh, come on, Rainbow Dash. Why do you have to be so stubborn sometimes?
I'm not being stubborn. I'm just being cautious, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, come on. You and I both know that's not the real reason why you didn't like him.
What is it to you?
Both girls could only glare each other down as the tension between them grew, with Twilight awkwardly wondering what to do. Although they rarely fought, but when they did, it wasn't pretty. However, their standstill would have to wait as a noise could be heard from the sky as both girls looked up to see a red plane, which looked damaged and somewhat broken. The plane quickly started to land as the girls could only move out of the way before it crash landed, leaving whoever was inside crashing down. Sunset Shimmer watched on as it was Sonic and his friends as they looked damaged and beaten up, as Sonic could barely stand up along with Tails and Knuckles.
We made it!
Sonic could only limp as Sunset rushed to his aid, while Twilight rushed to lift the small fox, who fell unconscious from all the fighting, as they carried them back to the house, as Knuckles and Rainbow could only follow them back inside. Later, it took a few hours for Sonic to start feeling better, as his previous battle with Shadow left him bruised and beaten up. He could only groan in pain when Sunset Shimmer put more bandages around his arm.
I've told you to be careful out there.
I thought you would know by now that's not how I roll.
What happened out there? Did you guys find what you were looking for?
It was just another trap set up by Eggman. Luckily, we got out of there alive, but we still have no idea what he's planning or why he was even there in the first place.
Well, it's a good thing you've all made it out all right. I just wish we could do something to help you boys out there.
It's alright, Earthling. You've done enough for us by healing our wounds and protecting the emerald. For that, we owe you our gratitude and our service.
What Knucklehead is trying to say over here is thank you.
Speaking of which, when you guys have been gone, I've prepared you guys snacks, like sweets, chips, and other things too, like grapes.
These Earthlings are getting better and better. Show me the way to the grapes.
Sunset Shimmer could only finish up covering Sonic's injuries as the blue blur's arms was covered in bandages.
Thanks again for healing me. Makes me wonder how I'm going to pay you back.
You could start by being more careful out there and forming a plan before the battle starts that actually works.
Hey, I'll have you know some of those plans work out.
Keyword being some.
Sonic could only laugh while looking the other way before noticing a certain individual missing from the gang.
Where's Rainbow Dash?
Just like that, the entire room got quiet as Sunset Shimmer could only look away sadly, making Sonic even more confused.
How do I put this lightly? Well, you see, Sonic, she
Still doesn't trust you because of everything that's happened. She still kind of blames you for all of it. Plus, I think there's another reason why she doesn't like you, but even we don't know why.
Yeah, well, she needs to get over it. I don't understand why she distrusts Sonic and his friends so much after everything they've done for us.
Actually, I don't really blame her. Some of the things I did before now are a bit questionable. So I can understand why she distrusts me so much.
But you've proven already that you're not our enemy, and you and the others have already proven yourselves trustworthy. There's gotta be another reason why she doesn't like you.
If that's the case, why don't you suggest we go get that information out of her?
Maybe we could just ask her.
I've already tried, but just like last time, she gave me the same answer as before. So asking her is completely out the window.
Well, what other options are there?
Don't worry, guys, you can leave that to me.
Oh, no, you don't. Last time I remember, your way of resolving things usually goes to the extreme.
I would never do such a thing.
Sunset Shimmer could only give the blue hedgehog a skeptical look as Sonic looked at her innocently while trying his best to give her the puppy eyes.
You did realize that won't work on me, right?
It was worth a shot though.
Regardless, maybe we should let Sonic try to talk with her. It's mostly him that she has a problem with, so it's best if those two work it out. Even if Sonic and Rainbow Dash could be extreme sometimes.
See, she gets me.
I don't think that's helping your case, Sonic.
You never know until you try. If I know Dash from anywhere, it's that she's one stubborn fella. It takes more than a simple talk to get her to spill.
I still don't think this is a good idea.
Relax, Sunset. I'm more than capable enough to handle things responsibly and more professionally.
Sunset Shimmer could only glare at Sonic, knowing that the blue hedgehog was lying after saying such a statement. The Equestria girl could sigh in acceptance, knowing that Sonic should settle this with Rainbow Dash personally.
Fine, but promise me you won't do anything drastic or crazy that might get both of you hurt.
I would never.
Sonic!
Alright, fine. I promise I won't do anything crazy.
Later with Rainbow Dash could only sit down against a tree as she looked at the view in front of her, as she reflected back to some of her actions for the past few days. She knew she wasn't being fair to her friends, but for some reason deep down she didn't like Sonic. Even when she tried, there was still something bothering her about the blue hedgehog that made her dislike him so much. It wasn't like she wasn't grateful for him and his friends for saving their lives, but something about the blue hedgehog bothered her.
why the heck are my friends so obsessed with that blue hedgehog anyway? Ever since we met that it's Sonic does this or Sonic can do that. Literally everyone in the group has been hanging around that blue fur ball. Literally yesterday night, all I could hear Pinkie Pie talk about is how fast Sonic is or how cool his adventures are. It's like everyone's attention is at Sonic. I don't get it. What makes him so interesting to the others?
Her thoughts were soon interrupted when she heard the sound of footsteps behind her, as she assumed it was Sunset Shimmer wanting to finish what they talked about earlier.
For the last time, Sunset, I'm not going to start trusting that blue critter.
Really? That would really suck since you're missing out on the fun.
Just like that, Rainbow Dash could hear a noise coming from behind her, a voice that she knew all too well despite her trying to get over. The speedster could only turn around to see Sonic standing in front of her, awkwardly as he waved at her only for Rainbow Dash to give him the cold shoulder.
What the heck do you want? Shouldn't you be with the others?
Well, you see, I actually came here to fix whatever problem you have with me, since I get the feeling that you don't really like me that much.
Like that wasn't obvious.
Look, I know you don't really like me for the things I did, but I promise you, I'm not who you think I am. Is there any way I could prove that I'm trustworthy enough for you?
You can start by leaving me and the others alone.
Sorry, but I don't think that I could do that, even if I tried. Plus, you already know how Sunset is going to react to that, don't you?
The speedster could only hate the fact that the Blue Hedgehog was right, as she turned the other way, trying to give him the cold shoulder once more. Sonic could only sigh, knowing that this would be harder than he thought, as he needed to come up with something that would make her see that he's a good person. An idea then popped in his mind, as he knew Rainbow Dash would never discard a challenge like this.
How about this? We settle this in a race.
It was no surprise that Rainbow Dash turned around, somewhat interested, as the Blue Hedgehog continued in his proposal.
Throughout the months I've known Sunset Shimmer, she's told me a lot about you and how your magic increases your speed. So what better way to settle this than in a race?
Rainbow Dash could only glare at the Blue Hedgehog as he could only chuckle nervously as the speedster then spoke.
Alright then, if I win, then after all this is over with that mad scientist and emo hedgehog, you and your friends will leave us alone and go back to wherever you came from.
And if I win, then you're forced to tell me what's really wrong and why you got a problem with me.
Rainbow Dash can only look at the Blue Hedgehog with a skeptical look before silently agreeing to the arrangement.